Hi, I'm Jamie Stillway with Acoustic Guitar, and I'm here to talk about creative ways to use Travis picking. If you have spent any time learning about fingerstyle guitar, it's likely you've heard about Travis picking. It is named after Merle Travis, and it's a style characterized by an alternating bass, often with a melody on the treble strings. Now, we are not going to go into the details of Travis picking on this lesson. If you seek more information, there is an article you can find on acousticguitar.com that explains all of it. We are going to talk about how to use Travis picking to start developing your own style. Let's start with week 1. Example 1. I'll play that a couple times. So again, this is just the basic pattern that many people learn when they first learn Travis picking. So again. So example 1B, we stop alternating our thumb on the bass and we just keep it on the 5th string. So the result is and to get used to that idea, you could alternate back and forth between the two, so you would have and so on. Again, if you're not comfortable with just doing the basic pattern, as in example 1A of this, I recommend spending a lot of time getting that in your muscle memory. Moving on to example 1C, it's the same pattern with the monotone bass, but now we're going to add some different notes on the melody strings or the treble strings. So we have as we look ahead through the examples, I've included how to change this pattern for a D chord. So example 2A, the alternating pattern is and cutting right ahead to the monotone bass with the addition of a flat 7th, we would have example 3A is an E chord, starting with the alternating bass. And then switching to the monotone bass with the flat 7th in the melody. So again, one thing to keep in mind when you're doing any of these exercises is to not think that it's just a set pattern and there's only one right way to play it. You want to really start exploring your own ideas and writing your own tunes, and don't think that any of this is super precious. Okay, week 2. So this week we're going to spend some time not in 4/4, so we're going to look at playing in 3/4 or 6/8. Again, you might have been thinking that Travis picking can only be used in 4/4, which is true if you're adhering to the pattern that you may have learned. But again, if we consider these as just motions that we can adjust to whatever we need them to be, we can do a lot more things. So example 4 is just a simple arpeggio going through A minor, D minor, and E major. Again, if you're just getting started playing in 3/4, that's a really common way to get used to the new rhythmic feel. So here's example 4. Again, we're going to have our thumb on the 5th string, our index, middle, and ring fingers on strings 4, 3, and 2, respectively, for the A minor. And then, adjust accordingly for the D minor and E. So example 4. Here's example 5. So rather than our thumb playing alternating between two strings, as in 4/4, notice how our thumb is going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So then again, example 5. And if you desire even more space in your playing, that is to say less bass notes, example 6 briefly demonstrates how you could adjust that to just play the first note of each bar with your thumb. So you would have All right, for week 3, we're going to spend more time looking at our fretting hand than we are at our picking hand. So we're going to go back to utilizing the original pattern that is most common with Travis picking. So we're going to go back to 4/4, but we're going to play these in drop D. So if you haven't yet, you want to tune your 6th string down to a D. And I've already done that, so you can test with your open 4th string and make sure that those are in unison, although an octave apart. One of the benefits of playing fingerstyle guitar is that you can pare down your chord shapes and only play the notes of the chord that you are fretting. So when you start to think about these small chord shapes all around the fretboard, you might get a little overwhelmed because there's a lot of redundancy on the fretboard. We're not going to worry about that just yet, but in example 7, we're just going to take D major triads, up strings 1, 2, and 3, and while utilizing our pattern, hopefully it's going to sound, musical, and also perhaps we will learn something in this. So here's example 7. And just to go over those chord shapes briefly, here are the chord shapes that you will be using in example number 7. So here's our first shape, the second shape, and the third shape. So you might want to spend time getting used to those fingerings before you dive into example number 7. Example number 8 is just going over those same shapes, the same triads, but now we're utilizing minor triads, which again, briefly, a minor triad is just simply lowering the third note of the chord. So example 8 is... So if you wanted to plug it into the ideas that we had in example 7, it would sound something like... something like that. And again, I did not play it as written, but again, that is just an example to be a little loose with how you're playing this, and again, just have fun while you're working through these ideas. Week 4, we're still going to be in drop D tuning, but we're going to look at what happens when we change the bass note or the root of the chord. So we're going to be playing inversions. Again, I'm going to stick with a D major chord and just moving up to a G chord. So example 9 just has a D, and then you're going to change the bass on the 6th string to the 2nd fret, which will be an E, up to an F sharp, up to G. Looking ahead at example 9, there are going to be some tricky fingerings. So when you play the 2nd bar of example 9, the D over E, I prefer to play that with my thumb wrapped around the top over onto the 2nd fret. You can also play it with your middle finger. Well, again, you should figure out what works best for you. You could do 1, 2, and 4. Actually, you could do whatever you want. I find it easiest to use your thumb wrapped around the top. So again, here's example 9. So for the take it to the next level example, we start to add in slides and pull-offs. And again, embellishments, once you get the hang of them, they're great. However, getting them to line up with your thumb and your bass notes and putting all the pieces together can be the tricky part. So this little study here just features some D chords and some slides. And again, when you're sliding on the guitar, try not to strangle it. A lot of people want to press really hard and they want to... Don't do that. So easy does it on the slides, and take time to make sure that, you know, just make sure to go slowly and make sure that everything is lining up. Again, there's no rush. There are many aspects of life in which we hurry through. This doesn't have to be one of them. So here is the example for the take it to the next level. A quick note, if you wanted to, the last notes that you play in the first bar, so it's just this little bit of a D chord indicated in the tab, you could play that on the 7th fret of strings 3 and 2 respectively. And if you wanted to take it to the next level, you could slide into that. But I'm going to play it as written. So again, here is take it to the next level. Again, I cannot stress enough, have fun playing through these exercises. Pay attention and listen to yourself and how you sound. I strongly suggest recording yourself playing and listening back to it. You can often hear things that you might not notice you do when you're playing. It's all for the better. Take your time, have fun, start writing your own ideas. Play through all the chords you know. Try some of these patterns with your picking hand on any chord. Again, really, there's no limit to what you can do. So good luck. Have fun. Until next time.